5 leg lock entries that I think are essential for everyone to understand. No matter what level you're at, these positions are going to always come up, and whether you have a lot of entries or not is not important. What is really important is that you're actually aware of all the positions you can enter the legs. We're going to look at how to enter from the single leg X position, how to get to single leg X or Rimi Ashigarami, because if you've seen all the different entries, that will give you a better gauge on what works for you and what you find most appealing. So the different postures Connor can take is, if I'm in front of my partner, he can either be on 2 knees, he can either have 1 foot up, or he can be standing. Okay, we're gonna look at 5 entries out of these positions. The first entry we're gonna look at, and this is really important that you get your head wrapped around this one, is when a partner is square in front of me. So his legs are square, like more natural Connor, like a bit wider. Yep, and he's just standing square in front of you. This is very, very common. Okay, from here, when I go to enter his legs, all I'm gonna look to do is this. I'm gonna tie up my partner's hands, and I'm gonna get in the way of his hands. Okay, if for example, I'm here and I just try and reach Connor's legs, well now he's gonna push me off, it's gonna be impossible. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie up hands, boom. Once I've tied up his hands, I've read his legs are square, this is go time. I take my 2 hands, I open up, and I take 2 knee pick grips, which means grabbing with a false grip behind both knees. I'm gonna use my legs on the mat to slide it underneath, and I'm gonna try and force Connor's hands to the ground behind me by taking my left leg, driving my hips through the middle, and my right foot is gonna push his hips to the mat. Here. Once Connor's hands touch the ground, I need to make sure when I enter single leg X or Rimi Ashigarami that my knee connects to my heel at his hip. If, for example, I come up and there's no connection, well now Connor's gonna run away, and I'm gonna lose his leg. For example, there's a lot of things he can do, to be honest. So instead, I'm in front of my partner, he's a square stance, I take grips, I'm gonna knock him, and once his hands touch the mat, I connect. Once I've connected, when Connor goes to run away here, he pulls me with him, and I can go straight into my attacks. So guys, this is very easy and very basic entry, but you'd be surprised how often it comes up. I have a partner in front of me, he's square. Okay, well now what am I gonna do? Like, I don't need to waste my time here. The second I see this, enter the legs, put him on his back, and once I have single leg X or Rimi Ashigarami, there's so many different options of Ashigarami that I can go to that it's a joke. And that's why I really believe when you start out at training, guys, really get good at this position. Because you'll see, if Connor starts facing me here, I can switch to reverse X guard, I can start elevating him, gonna cross Ashi on the far side. It really doesn't matter. As long as you get really good at this position, there's gonna be so many options to attack, it's crazy. So that's the first entry, guys, and I think before you learn more complicated entries, you want to get really, really comfortable entering this easy position where he's right in front of you. You just take 2 knee pick grips and pull him in, okay? The second stance Connor can take when he's standing up is a staggered stance. So instead of standing square in front of me, now Connor has his right leg forward. We're gonna look at shin on shin. Now, what's the most important thing you do with shin on shin, guys, that people make wrong? Is they grab the leg and they hit this nice space here between their knee and their elbow. Well, that gives Connor the easiest underhook in the world. He's gonna knee cut through. He's gonna flatten me out. So instead, I'm in front of my partner, I see the staggered stance, I take a knee pick grip, and I put my elbow on the inside of my knee. Now when Connor goes to punch an underhook, it's a bit more uncomfortable. Secondly, I'm creating a shimmy strong wedge, where when I grab his knee, when he goes to move around, it's so strong that when he goes to pull his leg back, go ahead, it's very hard. When I go on the outside, or now Connor pummel your foot inside, nothing's actually wedging his ankle in place. So I wedge my own elbow inside of my knee. From here, the goal was to take weight off this leg. How do we get weight off the leg? By elevating off the ground and putting weight to his far leg. I take my head and I'm gonna lean it towards Connor's leg on the other side. And that puts weight off his leg. Notice how his hands touch the ground, guys? If you can make your opponent's hands touch the freaking ground, you're gonna enter his legs, I promise, every single time. The second Connor's hands touch the mat, I sling up and I get back to my single leg X position. Again, my knee touches my heel when Connor goes to move around here. I have such a strong wedge that I can go straight into my counter attacks or my further offensive attacks. So, what have we looked at? We looked at a partner standing in front of us. He has a square stance. He's square, I take these 2 grips, boom, I push him through. I put his hands to the mat and I sling up. We then have our partners in front of us. He's in a staggered stance this time. When he's staggered, of course I can grip, boom, my elbow goes to the inside of my knee and I make sure weight comes off this leg by taking my head to the far leg. As I come to the far leg, his weight comes onto his hands. I sling, and off the sling, it's super easy for me to go into counter attacks. Now guys, if you want one-on-one help with jiu-jitsu, obviously guys, these videos are great, but please, my school community is currently cranking. In the caption, check it out. Check out my school community for one-on-one coaching, guys. But now let's take a look at the next 3 entries. These entries are gonna look at more against an opponent who's playing more close to the ground. So I have a partner in front of me, he's on 2 knees, but instead of being on 2 knees, oftentimes what happens is the partner puts 1 leg up, okay? This is so common. Guys, when you see this position, do yourself a favor and freaking attack the leg. It's so easy. From here, all I'm gonna do is this. My partner's up on 2 feet, I'm gonna take a collar tie, and I'm gonna take a hand behind his leg. From here, when I fall back, I'm gonna make sure both of my shoelaces go to the hamstring that I'm attacking. So here in front of my partner, I take an Achilles grip and a collar tie. I'm gonna fall back and put my shoelaces under that side. Here. Why is that? Because now when Connor goes to put his leg down, I've got 2 legs against 1, and I can lift it very easily. Once I'm here, I sling him into place. Notice how I don't do it slowly, guys? It's awkward, right? Instead, I go here, I sling. The reason why I sling is so it sticks him in place. When Connor goes to pull back here, it's extremely difficult. He tries to stand up. I make sure his knee goes outside his foot, and I put him back to a hip. Okay, the most important thing when I go to break a partner down, if I can't control both legs, is that I make his knee go outside the line of his hip and heel. If his knee buckles this direction, he can't stand up. Go ahead and stand up, Connor. Here, notice how his knee has to come inside that line. I just take his knee outside the line of his hip and heel, and he breaks down. Once he's broken down, it's so easy for me to go ahead and attack. The next 2 entries, guys, are gonna be against a kneeling opponent. When my partner is kneeling, I have pretty much 2 options when it comes to guard. So 2 knees on the ground, Connor. One is I'm playing seated like this. The other is I'm supine, and I'm playing in the guard. Okay, the first we'll look at is a seated variation. My partner's in front of me and I want to get to his legs. How do I get to his legs? I need to take weight off of his hips, okay? So I'm in front of my partner. I'm going to take 2 grips inside the armpits. Here. Once I'm inside the armpits, look what I do, guys. I put my head forward and I'm going to scoot my hips under. If I just try and pull Connor up, go strong here, Connor. I can't do it. Instead, I'm going to take my head forward and scoot my hips underneath, and it's going to elevate him up. Here, go strong again. And he comes flying up into the air. Once I'm up, I take a hand behind the knee. The ankle's going to be quite difficult to get to. If I can get the ankle, that's fine. Knee's fine as well. From here, if Connor tries to use the underhook to pass through my guard, I just take his head away from me with my right hand, and I enter his legs. But the key detail here, guys, is that my head comes forward, and then I scoot in underneath. Okay, so again, I'm here in front of my partner. He's got his 2 knees on the ground. I take 2 hands to the lat muscles of the triceps. From here, when he tries to pull back, I take my head forward, and then I scoot my hips underneath. And I elevate. Once I elevate, I make sure our spines become perpendicular. Right now, we're parallel. When Connor keeps his legs far away from me, it's extremely difficult. I take a hand to the lat, I make our spine perpendicular, and I get the super easy entry to his legs. So again, Connor's sitting in front of me here. I elevate by scoot my hips underneath, and I make us go perpendicular, and I get to his legs. So here, I can use whatever grip I want, whether it's 2-on-1, whether it's here, whether it's a collar tie. When I go to elevate him, I lift, I go perpendicular with my partner, and I enter his legs, okay? The last entry, guys, and I'm flying through this video because I got a private lesson in 5 minutes, is half butterfly guard. My partner's forced me supine guard. I have a half butterfly where I take my shoelaces and I put them on the inside of his leg, okay? From here, guys, right now Connor's weight's all over this leg on this side. I need to get weight off that leg. I'm gonna take my right hand, go to his armpit, okay? From here, when Connor goes to pull back here, it's a surprisingly strong grip. I'm gonna use this grip to take Connor's head over this knee. Here, I use the grip, and notice how I face my hips to the ceiling. When Connor goes to pull his leg back, I pull this knee to my chest. Now when Connor goes to escape, I connect my knee and heel to his hip, and he's stuck in place. Again, I'm in my half butterfly guard. I take an armpit grip like so, okay? I'm gonna use it to lift Connor's weight towards me. Now if Connor's leaning back away from me, well now it's gonna be impossible. If I want, I can just put my foot in his chest, I can kick him away, etc. Okay? Your partner's gonna wanna be engaging you coming forward. So he's forward in front of me. I take a grip to his armpit. I use this grip to pull Connor over to my right hand side, and I go to hips face the ceiling. When Connor goes to move this knee away, pull this knee to my chest, and I connect. Okay guys? So guys, all these entries, why am I showing so many entries in this video? Why do I think this is essential? It's essential you have an entry from each position, standing, 1 knee on the ground and 2 knees on the ground. Once you have entries from all these positions, you can then pick the ones that work the best for you. If you have any questions, guys, let me know in the comments. If you want to ask Connor any questions, you can let him know as well. Because people think this guy's super handsome in the videos. Guys, subscribe if you want to check out my school community with one-on-one coaching where I review your matches and I give you weekly lesson plans to make sure you actually improve your jiu-jitsu as fast as possible. Check out the caption. Connor, thanks so much.